right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in. Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day, because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free.
Get ready for user interface madness. Nick Hunter is going to explode the user interface and user experience of the FileMaker platform. Do a deep dive on user interface and customer management, tabs, slide controls, accordion objects, master detail. Your tour guide, Nick Hunter, will guide you through everything you need to know to be an awesome FileMaker user interface developer. So buckle up, hang on tight, because things are about to get crazy.
Okay, so let's start it. So what are we going to talk about during 2 weeks? Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about UI and UX design. Okay. So the first thing you need to know about the design, about the UI UX, is not just how the button looks and what the font size, and no, it's not only this. It's a combination of many things. Okay, we are going to talk about ergonomy. We are going to talk about human behavior. We are going to talk about so many things, and you will see it's not just how a button looks, right? It's much more than that. Okay, so, and of course, I'm going to, this 2 weeks will be for everybody. You don't need to be an expert in design, obviously. Actually, I don't want you to be an expert in design. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about design. And also, what I want you to do is to forget what you call yourself your own taste. Because you will see taste here, it's only things you do at the end. Let me explain. If your house is built on mud, okay, and your walls are cracking and crumbling, and your roof is full of holes, and you have the bathtub in the middle of the kitchen, it doesn't matter the color of the curtains. Doesn't matter, So your taste will be the color of the curtain, but the taste you will have very little significance. So it's important to know that. So you need to forget what you know about design and forget about what you call your own taste. Okay. So the design is everywhere, and there's many different type of design, right? What we call design, it means many things to many people. First of all, we have obviously architectural design. Okay, so this is how to build a house, to build a building, etc. Right? Then you have the interior design, how you organize a space inside, and you have the decor and etc. Right? And then you have the software design, which is where we are in. But you will see we are in, but we are not very in. We are 30% in software design, and we are a little bit also in the web design. Okay. And also we can say we are also on the product design. So you see, you have different kind of design here: architecture, interior, software, web, product, industrial design also is there. Okay, and you have engineering design, and you have fashion design, and you have social design and economical design. So we can go far with design, but pretty much this is what we have in the design that we are facing every day. We are facing this every day. When you put your watch on your wrists, when you take the car, when you dress in the morning, when you go to your website to check your bank account, when you use your iPhone, when you open a drawer to get your pants in the morning, and where you live, etc. So you are surrounded by all those design. Okay, all of those. Sometimes you have the combination of both. So here, for example, you have an example of a combination of software design mixing with product design. Okay, so you have a product design and a software design that meets together and blend together, right? To make one new entity. Okay, you can see you have the screen that looks like a bubble like this, and an aqua bubble, and you have also the stripes on the screen that comes also from, you have the same stripes on the design here on the software, on the windows and stuff like that. So this is where the things blend together. So sometimes you have this both. Okay. So this is what I'm calling the design. So to me, the design is this. It's an elaboration of a plan to resolve problems and eliminate constraints to put limits further. Okay, so to push limit further. So it's a plan. It's a vision in order to resolve problems. Okay, so to me, that's what design is for. Okay, way before to be beautiful. For example, I drove for many years a Saab car, SAAB cars from Sweden, and I love those cars. But people were saying those are the ugliest car we ever seen, and also the dashboard was the most ugliest dashboard ever in a car industry. Yes, but they were also the most efficient design ever, because the dashboard of the car was coming from the was an aircraft industry. Saab were designing firefighters, and they were applying the same design in the car. So the design was extremely efficient, not beautiful, but efficient. And sometimes the efficiency is what you want more than beautiful. The best way is to get a design when you have both, when you have beautiful things and at the same time you have something efficient. So when you design something, let's say take a chair, for example. Okay, all of those what I'm seeing here are chairs, but okay, they are designed differently depending on their purpose. Okay, so, and depending on who is going to use it. And you will see how this can be helpful in FileMaker. Oh, it is really, really helpful here. Why? It's because you, what's the name? When you have data and certain type of data, they need a different treatment. They need a different UI. They need a different design. For example, when you deal with 2 million records, you don't have the same design as if you were dealing with 10 records. And you don't have the same design for, searching and editing. And so you have different type of design patterns on depending on the data you have. And here, that's the same here for the chair. Depending on who and what and how you're going to use that chair, the design is different. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about design in general, and you will understand why I'm talking about this. So I'm not going to go further here, but this is where we were before, the skeuomorphism. This is what the design. This is the design we were in until let's say 10 years ago. Okay, we were there. We were in skeuomorphism. So what is a skeuomorphism? It's the real representation on the it was a replication of a real object on the screen. For example, here, the notepad from the iPad, for example, before FileMaker iOS 7, okay, it was looking like a real notepad. It was looking like a real one with a leather, with a booklet, like a leather booklet, and it was looking like a piece of paper and stuff like that. So it was looking like a real notepad, right? And that the purpose is because people needed to, they wanted to make sure that the people were understanding where they were, okay? So that was fantastic. That was a fantastic idea in 1984. So that is the first time they did, or kind of they use skeuomorphism as a interface. System 1 from Apple was skeuomorphism. A real floppy disk on the screen, a trash on the screen, a real trash can actually that was inflating when the trash was full, a real folder, etc., etc. So that was the first attempt of skeuomorphism. This design here, right?
By the way, I kind of miss this interface a little bit. It was so simple, right? So
yeah, exactly. It was simple. It was straightforward, and it was serving the purpose very well. And it's they were geniuses. Can you imagine they came with this out of the blue? Nothing was there. Now it's easier for us because we have this 40 years of history, but they didn't have squats. They had nothing, blank screen. Okay, so I want to really say like they were geniuses. Okay, let's face it. Especially Susan Kerr. I met her once, and it was very interesting. She had a kind of a convention. She was invited, and she invented those icons here: the folder, the file, and all those. The watch on the Mac, and the paints, the dropping paints kind of can. The floppy, of course, the command, the little dog, for the sound edit. You remember the sound edit dog, the trash, etc. She invented those icons, so she was kind of a pioneer, like of the computer. And so it's because the icon is very important, because today everything is iconic, and the apogee of this is the emojis. Okay, so they are icons. They are graphical representation of emotions, of objects, of situations, right? So pretty much one day a guy on YouTube was making a demonstration that they were talking in emojis, like the Egyptian were doing pretty much. We back there, right? So if I'm using this sentence, for example, so let's work let's play a little bit with this icon stuff. Here I have this sentence here. I say, okay, you are a pathetic person.
Okay.
Okay, so that means, okay, you rude. But if I add this, okay, yeah, you're joking.
Okay.
You know, so this is rude, this is not. Right? It's pretty, it's amazing. It's amazing. A sentence that you can change the sense of a sentence just because you added the smiley just after it. Right? So now iOS was the apogee, was the ultimate version of skeuomorphism. Okay, so you remember it started with this, right? Started with this very like wireframe like stuff, right? And it ended like this. So that was iOS 6. The pretty much the kingdom of skeuomorphism was there.
Okay,
right?
so skeuomorphism is that word that you said. Okay, great. So everyone
Yeah,
knows that.
skeuomorphism is this. It's coming from the Greek. It's skews, that means implement, and morphi, which means shape. Okay, so
Yep.
so that's what they call it. So I want to use the word. Then if you guys want to check online, there's so many websites. I'm going to share the website with you.
Well,
The website I'm going all the time to keep myself updated, because the design is a living entity. Is never end. Never stops. It keep going.
well, there was huge debates back. There was a VP that worked for Tim Cook. I can't remember his name. And he was a big promoter of this. And
Yes,
and there's two schools of thought: the skeuomorphism and then not skeuomorphism, whatever the other
the
thought.
flat design.
Flat design, yeah. And
I'm going to, yeah. Scott Foster was the Ayatollah of the skeuomorphism, but look, there's one problem with skeuomorphism, and I'm going to explain what it is. Right? You will see. There's one problem. The problem is obvious here, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to explain that in a moment. So now we came with a flat design. So this is where we were, okay, and this is where we are now. Meaning there's something I'm going to show you where we are going to go. Okay, so now we are in flat design here. So it's flat because it's two-dimensional. There's no 3D whatsoever. Here you have plenty of lights, shadows, and like look the calculator.
Yeah, the buttons.
Right.
The buttons. Yeah, absolutely.
The buttons are bubbly and they are plasticky, kind of so look the compass with the wood that is with you have the lights doing kind of. So look, it's beautiful, okay, but this, it's a different approach, very minimalist. It's minimalist and two-dimensional. They had a lot of things to resolve, though, and I don't want to explain here because it's not the purpose of FileMaker design. But I want to show you this you need to know where we are now, and why the flat design is great, and why we should use the flat design as much as possible. Okay, so, and this is now part of our life since iOS 7, and now it is even more. Big Sur is it's the apogee now of flat design. Flat design is everywhere. iOS, Mac OS, Watch OS, and even on the TV OS is now flat design. Flat design. So this is the difference between flat design and and the skeuomorphism. So you see by the icons, right? Before, after, iOS 6 versus iOS 7. So you can see the difference here. No shadows, no bubbly effect, no jelly belly effect. No, okay. And of course, what the flat design is doing is removing what is not necessary. So that is very important to know. You need to note that. You need to keep that in your mind. You need to write this in front of, on the whiteboard at home, and wake up in the morning and look at this and speak the sentence to make sure you understand it every day. remove what is not necessary. Okay, remove. Is it necessary? No, get out of here. Bye. So the concept here is to remove what is not necessary. So this is a flat design. By the way, this is a FileMaker solution. Okay, so so the flat design here, obviously, right, has many advantages, but it couldn't exist. Flat design couldn't exist at the time of the system 1. Why? Because nobody knew what that means, what the plus means. They didn't know that obviously on 14, 9, 25, and 22, obviously you can click there. Okay, you can tap here. Okay, and you can type on all courses, and you can, and currently you're showing the my courses. So it wasn't possible on system 1 because people weren't educated. Now we are educated because we have design everywhere. We have interface, we have human UI and UX everywhere. You go McDonald's, you have a UI UX. You go ATM, you have one. You go anywhere you go, everywhere you go now, you have a screen. Okay, and we are living with screen, and some people are sleeping with screens, right? So, and I'm stopping here because there's people doing something else with screen. So,
Okay, yeah, please stop.
So, now a screen is everywhere. So we are super educated, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you. So, flat design now is everywhere. It's coming even it's coming from the mobile device, mobile world, to the desktop world. It's coming here. It's coming back, right? And here you have some example on the desktop. Right? This is where we go. This is where it's trending. I'm not sure we're going to be there really, but this is where we are trending to. And Big Sur is the beginning of it, a little bit. Okay. So he calls that neumorphism. Okay. So Michal Malevich, which is a great designer that I'm following because he's a master in design on the UI UX design on software, and Jason Kelly as well is a designer at IBM, which is doing. Those people are doing kind of a research, fundamental research in design, and they're not designer per se, but they are doing some research and they come with a new kind of ideas. And you need to be crazy in order to be creative. Okay, so this is where we go. The neumorphism. This is obviously the skeuomorphism with a new neumorphism. Okay, so this is where we go. This is the trending. Okay, not sure if we are going to be 100% there, but this is where we go. Okay, so this is kind of so what is neumorphism? It's a mix of both. It's a mix of skeuomorphism and flat design. It's flat, and at the same time you have some three-dimensional back. You have a flat design was flat, and Apple did something fantastic on the flat design. They replaced the third dimension with transparencies and blurry effects, right? So they replaced the sense of depth, with transparencies and blurry transparencies instead of doing kind of a shadow effect. So they answer the problem of giving depth on the interface, right? Here we are back with the shadows and the counter shadows. Okay, see the buttons, that they are white shadows on the top and the black shadow on the bottom. That gives kind of the sense of suspension in the air, right? This is what is doing. So it's a mix of both. You still have We have back kind of a real representation of the buttons. You see the buttons on the bottom. They are real. They look real, right? And especially the records here, the example, you have the record player. It looks like a record, right? So it's kind of the what's the name? The skeuomorphism is it's back within a flat design, right? So this is where we go. See, this you have the differences here, the skeuomorphism, flat design, and neumorphism. Okay, so you can see what happened here. Okay, so and macOS and iOS, they came here. So you have a before iOS 13. This is the the tool for when you have a palettes, tablets, where the stylus, when you can the pen, the pen. So you have this. So this is what's before iOS 13 and after iOS 13. As you can see, that Apple came with a little bit of neumorphism back, right, on the stencils on the bottom, on the ruler and the stencils. Okay. So let's get started. Let's have fun a little bit. I want to have fun a little bit because so far a lot of talk and no fun. Okay, let's have fun. Okay. So what this is, okay. So what this represents to you? Yeah, MasterCard. See. So what that means? Yeah, no, MasterCard is not. It should have been together. No, really, what that means? You don't know what that means? When you see red and blue like this, you don't know what that means? Come on, guys. Okay, it means
red means I'm bad, and blue means I'm mostly kind of okay.
Okay, it means okay. So okay, never mind. Okay, Scott Kane. Finally, thank you, Scott, for the rescue. It's hot and cold. Come on, man. It's hot and cold. When you see that, it's hot and cold. I mean, okay, never mind. Too bad. But this, okay, you understand now, right?
Yes. That I get.
Okay, you get it. Okay. So this. Okay. So why this? So why come with red and blue for hot and cold when before? In my house here, I have a 1925 house, and I have a sink in the upstairs bathroom that says hot and cold still. Okay, so why remove this? Okay, okay, so that's the problem. The problem is this. Okay, hot and cold, that is in English. Chaud froid, this is in French. Caldo and freddo, this is in Italian. And heiß and kalt, this is in German. So you see where the problem is. It's cost. So why they switch from red and blue, then they don't have to translate anymore. Okay? They don't have to translate that anymore. So, and iOS 7 flat design, why everybody rushed to flat design? It's obvious because it costs much less to build. A UI and UX we're using flat design costs much less money than skeuomorphism, where you have to ask designers and graphic designers to come with awesome microphones and awesome gauges and realistic, they have to come with the designers. The cost on building those graphics were extreme. When the flat design, you remove all of this. You put kind of a red and blue. That's it, red and blue. You don't need a real knob anymore. You put a red dot and a blue dot, and that's it. You have your stuff. You have you have the same message here. So that's why they came with this. And for us in the FileMaker world, this is a key, because by eliminating the unnecessary work, okay, by eliminating lines and boxes, box in a box that looks different, and all, by eliminating all those things, right, you eliminate time and you save time, you save money. Okay, this is very important. Right? So here's the same problem. So why they came with this red, orange, and green, right? Obviously, so why red, why orange, and why green? They came with the red because red on the human being means danger. Why? Because it's the color of blood. So when you see something red, it's not good for human people. Okay. If we were living in Vulcan, if we were Vulcan people, the green will be had been the bad stuff, because they have the green blood. But we are not living on Vulcan. We are living on Earth, and the red is blood. Okay. Orange and yellow, they use that color because this is the color the human eye is perceiving the best. Is the yellow color. That's why everything that is, when you see on the street, they are working the jackets, where all the workers on the streets, they are all wearing yellow jackets and stuff, because this is the color the human being is seeing the best. Okay. So you see here, for example, you have the same traffic light in Paris in 1905. So and you see it was operating manually operated, and they were saying that what to do, okay, on the lights. So, but same problem. You have to translate those things from country to countries. When with the color you don't.
There was a question Agent Chevy was asking if we use flat versus, the skeuomorphism, do we save some CSS? I don't think there's a difference in the CSS. There's definitely a difference in terms of the size of the artwork. When you do 3D artwork, a lot of gradients and stuff, a lot fatter, bigger files.
You need to come with Photoshop or Illustrator and build your stuff. It's a nightmare. It's very complicated. If you want to build a solution, I was doing that in the 90s and stuff like that with FileMaker, using real buttons, and and they were looking and Apple had, and FileMaker had, remember this embossed and drop shadow kind of a button button effect they had. So yeah, it was a nightmare. What's the name? Flat Design solve all this, and it's much pleasant now to work with Flat Design. You can't go skeuomorphism is too complicated. So it requires too much work, okay, and we don't have the time for that.
Right.
So let's have more fun here. And how design works. So let's take, for example, icons. Okay. So let's have some experience here. We have symbolical icons. Okay. So what is symbolical icons? So what that means?
Bluetooth.
Okay. How you know that?
I don't know. It's whatever I did. Just by saying it enough times, you start to recognize it.
Okay. Yeah.
Initially, you'd have no idea.
Yeah. But now I think 99% of people using on the phone knows that.
Correct.
Okay? So what this is?
Taking a picture, camera, something.
What this is?
Wi-Fi.
Okay. What this is?
Taking or receiving a call.
Okay. See, you know what we call that? We call education. That means you are educated. You know what it is because you learn about it, and now everybody knows what it is. We don't need to explain more about this. You know what that means. And even though, for example, how long have you seen a phone with that shape?
You mean like a real phone? Like
Yeah.
a physical phone? Yeah. I think I have one in a box I saved, but yeah, they don't look like that anymore. Right?
Even the camera. Who saw a camera like this? Okay, so you know what I mean? So this is what we call symbolical icons here. Okay, so because you are educated, bam, you said bam, you know what it is, Bluetooth, bam, camera, bam, Wi-Fi, you know immediately. Okay, so now we have action items. What that means?
Adding, I assume adding a record or adding something.
Add, create, exactly. What that means?
Throw it away, trash.
Delete. Okay. What that means?
Send it. Typically like an email, right? But isn't it like send it out or share it or something?
See? And what that means?
Print.
And that?
It's funny. I think I mostly saved to a hard drive, but that's a
Okay.
that's a 3.5-inch floppy disk, right? So
Can we imagine that 20 years after the abandonment of the complete abandonment by the human race of this floppy drive that
yeah,
we have in
I
the
was gonna
past,
say yeah.
it's still the physical representation of saving something. It's incredible. So that means, okay, that's to tell you that you can use icon, but wait a minute, you cannot play with icons. You cannot use, oh, let's put that icon there. It looks good, oh yeah, but I mean, you can confuse people, and let's play a little bit more. Let's play with the power of an icons. Look how powerful an icon is. Let's say I have the word save. Okay, save. Okay, cool. Now I'm putting this. What that means?
Exit, quit, something like that.
With the word save. Save what?
Oh,
Save my life.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because the guy is running out.
Okay.
I save myself. I save me. I save myself.
Uh-huh.
I'm a human being. I save myself. What that means?
Save money. Got it. Okay. And save time. Got it. And save your happiness. I don't know. Save me.
It's not property. It's a burglar. Okay. So save. No, I mean, look. I had difficulty to find the icon that I want. So save my life. Save money. Save time. And okay. So you see the power of an icon. You have the word, and then you have the icon on the side, and then you give another meaning of the word. Actually, you give more meaning to the word. Okay, so it's the power of you have the power of the word, and then you have the power of an icon. If you remove the word save, you lose something. If you remove the icon, you lose another thing.
Yes.
Right. So that's the power of this. So let's continue a little bit to play more. The common mistakes. Is that really enter?
Yeah.
Is that really a symbol of expense? Is that really a symbol of later? Of course not. It's exactly the opposite. This is exit, this is economy, and this is earlier because the arrow is counterclockwise.
It's going counterclockwise. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is a common mistake we do. We use an icon and we put a word on top of it that it means exactly the opposite. Okay. Because we think that, for example, the piggy bank with a dollar sign, it's an expense. No, a broken piggy bank is an expense. Capiche?
Yeah.
So it's very important here. So
I have a question. I have a question. I'm confused here. So when you say economy, you mean like saving? I mean,
yeah, it's an economy. I'm making an economy.
Okay, hang on. There's a translational problem here in terms of your. So we mean saving.
I'm saving money. I'm saving. Okay,
you're saving. Okay, so
what is the
so this is saving because we're saving the money into the piggy bank. Okay, economy. I wasn't sure. Like, well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 12 points,
but you are making economy. You economic.
Economizing or saving. Okay, yeah, that's not a word that. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sorry. I was looking for the opposite of expense.
Well, expend. The opposite of expend or expense. Expending out is to save or save basically is the word. Exactly what that is. A save. Or savings. Lobster says savings.
Money. Yeah. So sorry for anyway. Okay, you got the point.
Nick's gone off the deep end. We have we're scrambling my ravioli, and it's only day one of 10 days, right? So
yeah, we are playing there. I'm laying down just kind of for some generalities here, but it's important because I'm going to use all of this in the future, right? In the next 9 days.
Yep.
So what about this? What that means?
Well, either it's missing a comma or it's two times that number. I don't know what that is.
Okay. Now,
Okay. Well, yeah, no.
now you understand?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too much because I could have solved the problem differently. Like this.
That would work.
That works perfectly. You understand, you don't need extra on top of the thing. You don't need. The way it is important, the way you are presenting data are equally important as, as what's the name? How, how you lay down the understanding will be different if you lay down the right way or not.
So let me try that. Let me help you out. So the way you display data is as important as the way you say structure the data or design the system, or something like that.
So it's important to, when you want to convey a message, okay, when you want to guide the user to understand what you are showing in one way, you need to present it in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so let's continue a little bit in the same thing. I have this 300 degrees. Okay, I know it's a degree. What we have which degree? Kelvin, centigrade, Fahrenheit, because that changed completely, right? 320 Celsius or centigrade degrees. This is hella hot. Okay, so let's say it's Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. Now I know. But is it hot? Is it hot? Maybe it's hot. It's perfect hot for grandma melting baked cookies that are melting inside and crusty outside. 320 degrees on the Fahrenheit in the oven is perfect. So this is hot, but perfect hot. I love it. It smells good. It smells very good.
Yep.
Okay. What about this 320 Fahrenheit? And I add this. That means you in big doo-doo. When you see that, you doo-doo. You in big doo-doo, you know you have a problem here.
The car's too warm.
It's not smelling good, okay? It doesn't smell good. And if I add this on top of it, it smells really, really bad because this is what you get at the end. Okay, so it smelled bad and it was, so you see how you can play with things just because you change how, you add kind of a graphic on top of it. And then you change the meaning of things completely like in a click, right? And most of the time, we don't even need the gauge. What we need to have is a flashing icon red that saying, okay, danger, you need to stop your engine right away, okay? That's what the car is showing. Sometime when you see this, okay, you say, okay, I need the gauge. Why? Because here we are talking about gas. So, right, you want the gauge because you want to see the progression, okay? So that is to show the power of a graphical representation, right? It's and the meaning of things, okay? How you can play with things like this. So let's continue. Here I have 48. So 48 what? $48, 48 degrees, or 48%. Oh, okay, let's take 48%. So what 48%? Is that the 401k growth? What it is? We don't know. We don't know what it is. Oh, but now I know what it is.
That's a good one.
It's a battery. I know that because I am educated that way. And now that I have the icon of the battery, I can just get rid of the 48% and put that. Okay.
Okay. For one, hate that. I do personally. I'm a percentage guy. I would rather know what.
Me too. But you know what I mean? Sometimes, because something, if you remove the percentage on your battery indication, you save a lot of battery, by the way.
Okay.
So, but now you can even add this. So you see, look, the message you convey here, you are 48% charged you're charging your battery, So you see the power of those things. So let's return a little bit here. There's nothing that strikes you at odd in this interface, Something, struck me immediately when you see this. Is this why? It's so important. It's everywhere you're using. So on top, do you notice now it's on the bottom of the window, not on the top. But back in the day, it was on top of the window. Why? Because it was critical. It was critical here. Critical because we were constantly trying to find a kilobyte somewhere to save some space on those freaking small 340K drives, right? Remember that? You remember this doubler?
Okay. Oh yeah, this doubler, this event. Yep, I remember all that.
Okay, who is not 40 years old and plus and never used those softwares? Okay, this doubler. Okay, or Stuff It. Remember Stuff It? Oh my
God. Stuff It. Yeah, I used that for a long time.
Okay, so so that's why they had to use this, because that was critical, right? It was critical. You have 170K available. That that's how bad it was. Okay. So all of this to talk about what the design resolved exactly. The design. The design, when you say UI, UX, all the UI, all the UX, all of this saves the schema madness. Most of the time, and let's say 99% of the time, you have a schema complexity because you don't have the support you need to have the right UI at the right moment, at the right time. That means that's why you need to have extra connection to go and grab and fishing information at the other side of the file to bring it back, because you're not where you should be. Okay, so you are, you know what I mean. So that's why you have a schema madness. Also, is going to solve your overwhelming calculation, because for the same reason, because you don't have the right data at the right moment when you need it. You need a super complicated calculation to go to grab things because you need them and you don't get them, etc., etc., etc. I'm not talking about the insane scripts where you have to go and take things and back and forth and movement and and open new windows and copy and get the virtual listing, and then you sort, and then because you don't have the right UI. And I'm not talking about the layout hoarding here, where everybody wants.
This is a South Park reference, but this is a class 5 hoarder. A class 5 hoarder.
So, but this is the layout we build in FileMaker. We want everything, everywhere, every time. I had a kind of a discussion with one of my customers one day. I say, okay, yeah, I want everything on one layout. Okay, so how you do that? So it's like, and I told him, I said, okay, look, if I come to your home, and I want a spoon, you offer me a cup of coffee, and I want a spoon. You forgot the spoon. I want to get it myself. If I found the kitchen, I'm pretty much sure that I can find the spoon. So you go to the kitchen. I'm pretty sure 99% that if I found a drawer, a cabinet drawer like this, I'm pretty sure that the first drawer on top will be the drawer where you put the utensils. Inside this drawer, so the first drawer of that cabinet, I'm going to open it, and I'm going to find kind of one of those tray organizer where you have fork and knife and spoon and stuff like that. I'm going to find those things. Okay, if I don't, that means you're a special person. Okay, so we don't talk about you. But if you do have something like this, okay, I'm pretty sure 99% of people have this. So you need to think your layout in the same way. In the same way. we are educated. We are not stupid. We are educated. We know what we do. We know things. Just what you need to do. You need to use a common, a pop culture common kind of a representation of things. Okay, and you need to give the people the right information at the right moments, not leading them with an icon of somebody escaping and say, "Oh, this is enter." You cannot do that. Or use the floppy disk icon. Say, "Oh, you by the way, you deleting with this icon." You know what I mean? So you cannot do this. You have to follow what the people, and you need to do something also, which is important. You need to give the user what he is expecting, because this is what is getting everywhere. If the guy is opening his phone, his iPad, his computer, he go McDonald's, he go to the bank, he sees the same icon, the same color at the same place all the time, and then suddenly the guy is using your solution on FileMaker, and the icon look completely different, is not at the same place, it's not doing at all what it should do. You are confusing people, right? So, and the position, so everything is important. The position of things, how you organize the trays, the cabinet, the room, the cabinet, like the kitchen example, the room, the cabinet, the drawer, the tray, organizer, etc., etc. All of those, you need to replicate those things. Like when you go, if I go in your bedroom, and I'm going to your dresser and I'm opening a drawer, I'm pretty sure I'm going to find your socks and stuff like that, because this is how we are educated to organize ourselves. Okay. Otherwise, you're a hoarder. Okay. So this is what we're going to learn during those 10 days. We are going to learn how to avoid the mistake and how to build things. And I'm going to show you how exactly I'm going to holding you and show you all this and why we need to do this, and I'm going to do the great demonstration, and then at the end we'll get the file with all those things, right? So FileMaker promises you a car out of the box. That means you're going to get a car out of the box with FileMaker. Okay, this is what FileMaker promises you. Okay, and promise kept. This is your car out of the box with FileMaker. So they didn't tell you which car you're going to get. You get a car out of the box, and this is what FileMaker give you.
Hey, but what if we get starting point from us? Then what do they get?
Oh, hold on. This is I'm saying out of the box. That means
I know.
You open FileMaker, okay? You go create new file, you go layout mode, and that's what you get. That's what you have. You have a baby car with pedals, okay? But they said you're going to get a car, and they promise you, okay? Then on your own, you try to find out, out on the web, and you cherry pick a file here and layout there, and you get this, right? Which was our East German car, or actually, I drove one of those. That's why I picked that. And they're funny cars, by the way. The engine on the back, on the rear, and
like a Volkswagen Beetle, right in the back.
They are NSU. The brand is NSU Zaz. It's a East German car, and NSU is the ancestor of Audi. Okay. So Volkswagen bought NSU, and as they merged with Auto Union, actually Audi, that means Auto Union, Audi, AU, Audi. So, but that was from 1969. This is a car from 1969. Okay, so you get those cars, and that your layout you get, the strict minimalist stuff, and as you can see, you see the icon on the left with the fan and the waves is because there's no water, because the car was strictly cooled with air. Okay, so that's why you have the fan and the air. Okay, so that's what you get. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool, right? But let's put some design here, and this is what you get when you put design, when you involve design. You know, and you can get that. By the way, they use exactly the same material to build this, the same material to build this, and to get this, the same material, steel and engine and alloy and the same material of this. You get this, pretty much, right? There's nothing like magical here. At the end,
Oh no.
at the end, this is what you need to be. This is who you need to be. You need to be MacGyver. Because with FileMaker, we have a lot of limitations. A lot of limitations. If we don't have the freedom, but you have to tell yourself something. Okay, those limitations are great, right? Because they prevent you to fall off the cliff, right? That means with FileMaker, the beauty with FileMaker, whatever you do, you will get something at the end. Maybe you will get this, but you get something. Or you can get this, but you get something. So picture yourself as a baby, The baby, you put the baby in a crib, in a crib, right? So you have fences around the baby. So the fence are not to confine the baby, is to protect the baby, okay? So, and more you grow up, then you can play in the room, but you cannot get out of the room. Then you play in the house, but you cannot get out of the house. And then you are on your own in the world, and you need to build your own fences, okay? Otherwise, you are at risk of falling off the cliff. So it's exactly the same thing. When you go, because many people are talking about SQL, are talking about Java, is Java so easy, copy paste, boom. Oh, SQL so easy, copy paste, boom. Okay, yeah, but this is a lie. And we have Legos, the Legos, the cube.
Legos.
Okay. So you have different shapes, you have different colors, okay, different different size, different whatever, and we are going to use those blocks, okay, to build something else. And you can build crazy things with Legos, and I know what it is because I was a crazy Lego guy, pretty much, right? So you can pretty much with Legos, only your imagination is the limits, okay? Even though you are building something with Legos, you need to treat FileMaker the same way, okay? So you have fences, you have limitations, but those are good limitations. Pretty much, this is the Jack the Ripper put a picture of the car with plenty of weight. So this is I love this. I want to show that right quick.
Yeah, do that. Go ahead and do
really,
that.
This is a big. It's a good representation of what I was talking about. The wrong UI on the wrong data. The wrong UI for this kind of data. Can you imagine the same with a nice, beautiful truck, right? No problem. Beautiful truck, you arrange your boxes, you have your mattress, you have all the things. But here the guy wanted to use his car instead of using a truck. So that will result. This is exactly the same thing when you use the wrong UI for a certain kind of data.
I mean, a lot of you intuitively understand that a good UI is good and bad UI is bad, and but I think sometimes
that's the reason why we need to follow rules, right? So that's what I was doing this. I was doing this because there's rules, okay? Why? Because we have, when Apple started the first graphical interface, they had no rules. They were establishing the rules because they didn't know at all what happened. Now we have more than 40 years, almost 40 years of feedbacks, of experience, right? So we know exactly what's good and what's not. So that's what I'm saying. If you have to follow the rules, and you need to learn how to play with the rules, in order to create things, right? So that's why I was talking about all of those things with icons and stuff like that. But you can go further, talking about positioning of object, displaying object, the shape of the objects, etc., etc. All of that matters.
All right, Nick, I appreciate it. Good job day one. We'll see you for day two, everyone, tomorrow.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him. Again, he makes the grab.